Welcome to the world. The sun is high overhead, spring is in the air, and your stomach is full. For now. Coming into the world on your first day, your attention should be focused on four main goals: the acquisition of tools, expansion of storage, building shelter from wild animals and drifters, and obtaining food. A man can accomplish a lot with just the sweat off his brow, but with a good set of tools, there is nothing he can't do. In order to fashion tools, you'll need to collect sticks from either the ground, low shrubs, or the branches of trees, and pick up some stones. There are 22 types of stone in the world. Some are hard enough to be knapped into a tool, many are not. If you're lucky, the stone around your spawn area will be basalt, andesite, granite, peridotite, or obsidian. If not, you'll have to be discerning about the rocks you pick up, and actively seek out pieces of flint, which are also suitable for tool making. The most vital early tool we should make first is the knife. One stone actually makes two. Stones in hand, hold shift and right-click the ground to begin the knapping process. Select the tool head you want to make, and use right-click to begin knocking away at the extraneous pieces. You don't have to remove all of the voxels, only the ones outlining the tool shape. When finished, the item should appear in your inventory. Place the tool head on top of a stick, and you'll now have the finished item. You can either continue from here, or set out to make a complete set of tools. Tools like the knife, the axe, and the hoe are necessary to collect various resources, chop wood, and to till the earth. While the shovel and spear are not 100% necessary, they drastically increase your efficacy removing soil and sand and taking down prey. Now that we have our knife, we can begin to cut vegetation like grass and reeds. Reeds are an extremely useful early-game resource, as we can use them to craft hand baskets and expand our storage, as well as baskets we could place on the ground to store items separately. While many would consider it an indignity or the sign of a lazy, poor player, in Vintage Story there is no dishonor in the dirt shack. You may even find yourself growing downright comfortable in yours. In Vintage Story, wild animals are a constant threat, and unspeakable horrors come shambling out when the sun sets. It is absolutely vital that you establish a safe base of operations, and soil is the most readily available building material. You can build your structure however you like, but I would recommend it be at least 5 by 5 and have a roof 3 blocks high. If you're playing with soil instability, which I don't recommend personally, or you don't like the ever-encroaching grass in your home, you can arrange 6 dirt blocks in your crafting grid to make packed dirt, which is more stable, is a lighter tan color, and does not grow grass. For the first day, time is short, and I wouldn't recommend getting caught up in aesthetics. However, there are some early decorative blocks you can make. If you've been fortunate enough to locate some clay early on, you can make a relatively cheap mud brick using soil, clay, and grass. 4 stones and a dirt block allow you to create the stone path, which faintly resembles cobblestone. This block is mostly used as a road material though, as it allows you to run 33% faster. As an aside, it's worth noting that by pressing H, you can access a very thorough guidebook, which contains a searchable index of every block in the game and how to craft it. There are 5 essential items you'll need to craft as amenities to your home: the door, the fire starter, the torch, the campfire, and the bed. To create them, you will need grass, sticks, and a new resource you may not yet have acquired: wood. As mentioned before, an axe is absolutely essential to acquire wood. There is no tree punching in this world. When chopping, the entire tree will come down, so the length of time and durability cost to chop one piece depends on how much tree there is above it. The rough wooden door is fashioned using 3 sticks, 2 logs, and your axe. Recipes that utilize a tool do not consume the entire tool. rather only some of its durability. While it is completely impenetrable to hostile animals, the rough door has a small chance to come off its hinges when used, so be ready for that. The fire starter, crafted by a single piece of grass and 2 sticks, is a tool which can ignite fires by holding shift and right-clicking until it succeeds in lighting. The torch, crafted by placing 2 grass over a stick, can be both placed on the ground, held in your hand as a tool, or held in the offhand as a portable light source. Unlike the fire starter, it has a 100% chance of starting a fire on its first use. When placed in storage, or held in the hand, it has an infinite lifespan. However, when placed on the ground, it will burn for 3 days. The torch can also be extinguished if submerged in water or rained upon, so be sure to keep them out of the rain. In order to craft the campfire and keep it fed, you will need to make firewood. Firewood is made by placing an axe over the top of a log in the crafting grid. To start a fire, you will need at least 4 pieces. However, it's a good idea to bake a bit more for future fuel. The campfire is constructed on the ground by holding shift and placing a single piece of grass, followed by 4 pieces of firewood. By right-clicking, you can open the campfire menu and add cookable items or additional fuel. You can also refuel a campfire by shift right-clicking on it while holding firewood. Even after extinguished, campfires do not need to be rebuilt and can instead be simply refueled and relit. The straw bed is used to sleep throughout the night, up to 7 hours. When sleeping, hunger is depleted and time is accelerated. Fires will continue to burn, crops will grow, and animals will move about when sleeping. As visibility is poor and drifters are relentless, it is absolutely essential to skip the night if you do not have anything to occupy your time. Now that your base is set up, it's time to get some food supplies. There is no cost to running low on food, but a lack of food means an inability to sleep, and running out completely will cause you to begin taking damage. There are many forageable food sources. Some are edible without cooking. These include berries from bushes, wild crops like grain and vegetables, and any of the 28 edible mushrooms. Orange oak bolete, king bolete, devil bolete, green cracked rusula, violet web caps, almond mushrooms, red wine caps, paddy straws, puffballs, chanterelles, black trumpets, field mushrooms, indigo milk caps, saffron milk caps, common morels, witch hat mushrooms, lobster mushrooms, shiitake, pink bonnets, liver mushrooms, funeral bell, deer ear, reishi mushrooms, white oysters, pink boletes, bearded tooth, sulfur shells or chicken of the woods, and tinderhoof. As a serious aside, I should point out that while some of these mushrooms are in fact common edibles or delicacies in real life, many are contentious as to their actual safety, and there is no treatment or cure for the kind of toxic damage that the wrong mushroom can do to you. Please never forage wild mushrooms as an amateur. Breaking the bottom half of the cattail reed yields a root, and the various animals such as hares, foxes, ewes, boars, bears, and chickens all yield either bush or red meat, which can be cooked and eaten, as well as fat, which can be consumed raw in an emergency. Survival in a harsh, untamed world can be daunting, but with perseverance, strategy, and proper priorities, you can go from barely hanging on to life to a stable, primitive existence from which to expand into the next age of technology.